issue. I mean, come on, let's not be ridiculous. It's not like I've never had issues in doing anything on this. Yeah, it's so stupid. Hello, why are you not working? Hello, why are you not working? Can you explain this to me, bruv? Anyway, let's see why this is not working. But yeah, the markets are looking relatively okay, right? Relatively okay at this present moment. Look like we should be on for a bit more of a push up. Things are looking quite strong on the side. We closed the weekly on a really good level that I was expecting it to do, which is a great thing. Why is this an invalid? Why is this invalid? Why is this invalid? Am I losing my mind here? Why is this saying invalid? Some key resistance 72 area. Yeah. I mean, look, something's weird going on. Why can't I get this to work? Don't you love it when you're just sitting there and you've done the same thing every single time you've gone streaming. Every single time it works. But today it's like, no, I'm not going to work today. Why should I work today? Today is not the day for me to work. Thank you very much. All right? Let's not get ridiculous here. So, come on. What's with you, Brev? For the X lot. But anyway, on the tube, I'm sure everyone can see exactly what is going on. All right, let's get the chat going up. I was explaining about set. I don't even know what that means. Set VPN because they about verification. What? Oh, it's working now. All right, cool. Yeah, I don't know what is going on. Something went a bit extra sensei, as they say in my West country. It's getting a bit extra sensei right now. Yo, what's Oh, it's working now. What? And does it want me to sign in? Are you being serious right now? Are you being serious right now? Are you? Okay. I don't know if it's working on X. I actually don't know if it's working on X. For some reason, it's signed me out. If not, I apologize. If you can't see me on X, I can't see what's being written or anything like that. I apologize greatly. So you guys have to go on to the tube. X is not working because it's logged me out for some reason. Yay, fantastic. Oh right, yeah. Sorry. Here's the sound. Sorry. It's been a bit of an interesting weekend. I've been busy setting up all the groups and everything else that's going on. So I'm gonna say this: working on tube and yeah, okay, fantastic. X is not working because it's logged me out. It's very echoey. 1 second, can you hear me? Is that better? Is the echo gone? Yeah, all good. Yeah, so look, the group is ready, right? The question was, how can I open up it if they ask? Okay, yeah, message me afterwards. I can't talk about that here, man. Message me afterwards, and we can go from there. So yeah, we're going to. It looks like that Bitcoin is going to continue the rally up for the timing. I haven't been able to go through and do a lot of things into the group because I've been setting up a whole bunch of stuff. The Discord is finally ready, and if you're in the pro group, you're gonna need to message me today, right? You're gonna need to message me today. You're gonna need to go through I'm here, please greet me accordingly before continuing the stream. Thank you so much, Punky. I don't know how to. You wouldn't want me to greet you accordingly, trust me. So yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, if you're in there and you're in the pro group and you want to access the Discord, the TG group is closing, and it's being moved over to there, right? It's being moved over to that section, and and all that stuff is going there. So if you want to get to get in, then you're in the pro group to be a founding member. You're gonna need to do it today or tomorrow, because afterwards I'm going to open up to the community, and it's just gonna get even more difficult. There's gonna be a free section, and there's gonna be a whole bunch of other stuff. It's looking very clean, a lot of cool stuff, a lot more other members. It's a lot of cool, interesting things are happening. We're merging a lot of people into one ultimate super duper place, and we're going on from there. Right now, what's going on? What is happening? What are the cool things? Don't close 2 to 3 days. Some people don't have time every day to check. It's 3 days. Whatever. It's cool. I mean, when I say close it, I mean there won't be any posts going on there in 2 to 3 days. It'll be moving all over to the Discord. Everything there is going to be on that level. Message you were on GG. Just if you're in the group, I've put messages into the chat, right? And you can go from there. And in 2 to 3 days, well, actually tomorrow, or maybe the other after, I'm going to put the links into the live, so you can see on the tube and on X and everywhere else, so you can see all the ways to get in. Okay, cool. Now, where are we? What's happening? What's going on? Let's start, and we'll go step by step on what's happening, right? I talked about the 2.31 trillion level, right? Yeah, we're in the bear market. That's not even an issue, right? But there's a reason why. Yes, fear of loss must sub lol. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah, so I talked about the 2.31 level. The weekly had to close above that, and it's closed perfectly above that. Right. Now, we should see continuation from here. This is a good sign. This is going in the good direction. We could go well. Now, however, right, we have one more niggly area to break through, right? One more niggly area to break through, and it is this section here, right? We're coming up to it now. If it can break above the 2.42, yeah, let's be generous. 2.41. If we can break above that and hold that level, this thing is going to go and test the previous range high, which will be 2.64, which will be a lot of green in the market. So you have to be very, very vigilant on where this is going to go, right? However, I do expect some form of rejection from this zone here, and it could be, right? Which section? Am I in the wrong live? Oh no, if you want to see my screen, it's there. I'm putting everything's on there. If you go to this one, especially that one, and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, be doing that. A lot more videos are going to be going there. My studio is almost finished. Almost finished. By the way, if you guys are on the tube, if you push the line all the way to the end, the little progress bar, you'll be up to date with what we're talking about. But at this present moment, it's looking good. USDT is breaking down, but breaking down to an area where we're coming into the Monday low. So we should see a bounce, which looks like on total, we are going to get some form of rejection here. Now, what type of rejection we get is the question mark. How you call your studio? Skybunker? No, it's actual studio. But the things, my collectors and all that kind of stuff. I've got a Banksy, all that kind of stuff in the background. You'll see some really cool thing, right? Getting it done is taking some time. I just, procrastinating. So we're going to see something on that level, and we're moving in that. Now I see the section. Yes, exactly. So we're going to see something in that move, right? And I'm expecting this to break through. But again, don't try and predict where we're going. React from it. I'm expecting some form of reaction from the Monday high, which also sits perfectly within this range here. So we're going to see some form of movement in the negative direction here. Where it will go, what it will do, most probably will come and probably test the Monday mid and break through. If we see a breakthrough of this area and a close of a market structure break above here, everything is going to go up. And it looks like, yeah, we might see, if we look at USDT, Bitcoin dominance, that area of rejection for where alts will do really well, because I'm assuming a lot of people will be looking for the alts, will be about the 59.52% area. Though that area there is going to be extremely important. Now, we have an issue developing. And I did a video. If you guys are on the Insta, you probably have seen it. But there's an issue developing right now, right? And it's President Takaishi in Japan has now won a supermajority, right? And it's a problem. I mean, it's a problem. It's a real problem that people just are not giving enough energy to, right? They really need to give more energy to that problem, because she is looking to, she has ultimate power now, right? She can do whatever she wants, pass whatever she wants, have anything move in the direction that she wants. And that move in the direction she wants is based on two key factors, the pillars of her administration. And that is a massive tax cut, right? Massive, right? Nobody else has mentioned the Japan situation. Well, they will. If this thing starts to snowball, they're going to. It's going to be. So as I said, massive tax cuts, right? Now, the issue, and there's this two prongs to this, right? My stream is gone, sir. What? What do you mean? What do you mean it's gone? Can you guys see my YouTube stream? Can anyone? Is anyone on the tube not being able to see my screen? It said you've lost the. Yeah, you can see me. All right. Why did someone say your stream is gone? Oh, okay. Anyway, whatever. Maybe it's the wrong thing. Bruv, I found the glitch. So basically, I saw it as a hedge against my spot bag in it. Yeah, man. You can't lose, bro. 1999. Look, that's the situation where was I talking about? Yeah, look. So they're working on the two pillars. She works on two pillars. One is a massive tax cut. And the reason why that tax cut is a problem is because the Japanese government is suffering liquidity problems at the moment. They don't have enough liquidity to basically pay off their debt, right? And they're sitting in a scenario where she's looking to cut even more. One of the biggest income, it's basically tax on food and on goods, right? If you're in England, VAT, or in America, I don't know, just food in general, right? There's that value added tax that they do. She's basically cutting that from the Japanese market, which is great for foreigners, but absolutely terrible for her market. Absolutely terrible. And she's banking on this cut bringing in a lot of liquidity and cheapening living standards and making everything better, everything cheaper, and all this kind of stuff. However, it's affecting the ability of the government to be able to pay off everything. And the problem is, when the government cannot pay off anything, it starts doing things like selling debt. And more importantly, selling assets that it owns. And Japan's number one asset that they own is US debt. So we're in this scenario right now where we're in this situation where she's in this sort of just trying to balance growth through not having to sell. Now, the second prong of what she's trying to do is do massive expenditure. So basically spend on the economy, do in essence a full load of quantitative easing to bolster the market, to make it grow, make it expand, and do all the things on that side. These two together, right? These factors of not being able to gain enough income and spending at the same time is going to have a few problems, right? Especially the expenditure side. It means that not only is it going to be inflationary, it's going to inflate prices in the market, but at the same time, right, it's going to cause a Chinese bond issue, bonds to go through the roof, because the fear of debt, not being able to pay that debt, and the actual lack of demand for that debt because of the inability of that country to pay it, is going to point to one singular thing, and it's their central bank having to raise interest rates at a more aggressive nature to be able to curb this problem. That there will destroy the carry trade and destroy Japan as the creditor of the world, starving liquidity in all markets. I want everyone to really gain an understanding of how world-changing this event can be. I mean, it is like, it is, I'm smiling, but it is bad. Like, it is really bad. Like, it's like, forget crypto. Forget crypto. You need to start looking at every asset. Like, every asset. It's at that level. We're talking 23 to 30 trillion dollars worth of liquidity being yanked out of all markets. These are issues, right? These are real issues, and people need to monitor this. They need to monitor this really badly. Like, they really do. I mean, you're seeing the 10-year going up. This needs to not do that. That's not good. We don't want that. We really don't want that. Let's see where this brings, but that is something that you need to keep an eye on, because I don't want to say I didn't warn you, right? This a full on, I'm warning you. If they don't curve what they have the idea of doing, just watch. Just keep a hawk eye on the 10-year bond yields and the yen. By every aspect of the word, it doesn't matter. Donald Trump could do, I can't even say any of these things on TikTok, can do anything, and that's and it won't even come close to what the effect of what this could be. Now, I also had an interesting conversation with my buddy in America, right, about the new Fed chair that's supposedly be coming in, right? And I had a candid talk with him, because he's seen as the hawk, right? He's seen as the hawk, which is why the market had a bit of a pullback. One second, why is this here? I'm just trying to pull up his email. Okay. 1 second. I'm trying to pull up his email. He's an email type of guy, right? Yeah. So here we go. Yeah. Okay. So I had a conversation with him, and he works in the finance sector in the USA, and their fears seem to be unwarranted. That this guy being the ultimate hawk is somewhat unwarranted, where he is a hawk, right? He will do, but he goes, people are thinking about it the wrong way. They call him the hawk because when he was in office, he did one of the most restrictive monetary policies out there. Like, he went full quantitative tightening and did a whole bunch of stuff, right? But what people forget is that the economic environment that he was sitting in warranted that. So his understanding of being like the hawk and going to be doing all this quantitative tightening and doing all this kind of stuff is not what is a fair understanding of what's going on with him. He's going to be a person, and this is the thing, and this is really strange why no one picks up on this. He has been stated and quoted as saying that there is scope at this present moment to have more rate cuts. And he believes that there should be at least 4 more rate cuts at this present moment. And the Fed is utilizing a method that is not going to be beneficial for the market, because at this present moment, every print that is being looked at as the yardstick of inflation has come underneath expectations. So that's where we go. And this is the thing, right? This is the thing that he's saying to me. He's talking to me in the sense that yeah, he was seen as the hawk at that time, but at this present moment, he is the person that will do what is the best for the market, and he has shown full-blown indication that he believes right now that there should be more rate cuts, and he's been quoted as saying that. That's where the future of that is. So this fear that's happened in the markets, especially if you look at the S&P 500, it was an event that was, how can I say, feelings over actual facts. So this pullback and then recovery was in essence that. That's why when you get this instant V-shaped recovery, it's looking good on that side. Now, if we look at the S&P 500, it looks like, as I said, it's going to test the upper band of this area, and it looks like it will break through. Man, I put that 7,100 many moons ago, and it looks like we're going to hit that level. It looks like we're going there, right? Not that far away. Now, this is where we are right now, right? So we're in a situation where we're in an interesting scenario where we have this black swan potential event that's sitting in the background in the Japanese yen markets, but also we have a potential question mark on the new Fed chair that's coming in, which looks like he is going to be far more receptive to what the market needs than just be a hawk and go in that direction. Do we have the jobs to support rate cuts and it won't happen? Yeah. So look, it's not about the jobs that's working. What's going on at this present, the job creation. I think what's going to happen, all right? What's going to happen is that due to a market environment where liquidity is being so tight, right? And when you see this thing, what was I going to say? When you see such liquidity being so tight, and this evolution of AI systems coming in and being pushed forward, you go through this transitional aspect of what's going on, right? Where jobs are now, the type of jobs being created, especially entry-level jobs, are being offloaded onto what are going to be efficiency gain models that are coming out. I mean, if you've checked out Claude, well, it's not called Claude anymore. They've changed the name now, Claude Bot or whatever it's called. A buddy of mine has one, and it's incredible. It's outright incredible. So what's happening is that part of this lack of jobs and job creation is this transitional issue that's happening with AI at this present moment. But if there was excess liquidity, if there was a large stack of cash that companies could have, then it will push the availability of jobs and new creation of jobs and new direction in that aspect. What my buddy told me is that Kevin Walsh said one particular thing, right, which is really, really interesting, right, which is extremely interesting what he said. He said that, and it's quoted about Powell. He goes, Powell is basing his understanding on flawed data. He is understanding about so they can't cut rates. So no, he can. He can cut rates. He will cut rates. You'll see. I'm almost certain he's going to cut rates. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying now. What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh yeah, he's quoted as saying that Powell is basing data on lagging and unclear data that's coming forward. So what's happening at this present moment is that he's looking at data that is contradicting data that is showing about rates of inflation and rates of unemployment. Unemployment data and job creation data, he goes, it's very strange that in December, the risk was towards unemployment. And then a month later, after a singular cut, all of this changed. Right? All of this changed. How in 1 month and after one singular cut can that change? What that points to is that the data being received is flawed. So what's happening is that his actions are being based on flawed data, incomplete data. Because if in 1 month jobs are in danger, oh my God, we need to cut. And then a month later, no, it's fine. You know that there is a massive disconnect between what the reality is and what's happening. And that is the same nature with inflation. There are situations at this present moment where the inflationary data has come under consistently under expectations. Consistently. So this is the thing. If he's saying that inflation is on a downward trajectory, if it's beating every single expected level of inflation and it's beating that, it's lower than every expectation that they're coming to, cutting right now, right, could only be a benefit. Even if jobs are unsure, even if he's unsure of job creation and people are in a scenario where or there might be enough jobs or may not be enough jobs, or maybe employment is in a good situation, it will only have a benefit just in case that there is a problem there, because it will support the economy, it will support the stock market, it will support things that ultimately affect how many people have jobs. This is the thing that he's talking about, and it makes sense. It makes sense. They're laying off people and they're not borrowing. Well, they're not borrowing because the rates are not in range of what they're looking for, and at the same time, their jobs that are being cut are being cut from companies that are looking to change into more of an AI efficiency based system. See, look, right now the jobs data is not giving an accurate indication of what's going on. Right? They're not giving an accurate indication of what's going on. And if you're saying, again, because they can't sustain jobs, why can't they sustain jobs? Then why would they not cut? How is tightening liquidity going to help with job creation and the bottom line? See, what the situation is right now is that these AI, what I want to say is that these AI creations that are coming out, these AI bots that are not uniquely connected to a singular software, but are multiple softwares that utilize multiple AIs to come together and be an agent to do things. If you can see what they can do right now, it's truly incredible. And it's only going to make companies more profitable, and the market and stock market and this and the other going to go up in profit, and those going to move. The only issue it will have is unemployment will be a problem. And it won't be a problem where rate cuts are going to be the ultimate solution, but it's the only thing that the Fed has that can do that. The only thing. And if unemployment data and data is flawed and it's actually worse than what people believe it is, as Art was saying, right? If he's saying it's worse than it is, then a rate cut has to happen. What Powell is utilizing right now is that he should be in the notion of looking to bolster the market in a way where he should expect the data is incorrect, because he's done something according to the market that came out incorrect, and now it's better. Inflation is still going down. Inflation is on a downward trajectory, so there is enough space for a rate cut to happen. And this guy is going to do that. He is unbelievably intelligent. When I would talk to the to my friend, he was like, he goes, I respect this guy on every level. He is a person that knows he knows the market. He's a superstar in his industry, and he goes, it should show you that all these people that were against him and saying things like, oh, he's a hawk and this and the other. It should make you understand, if Donald Trump said that Powell was not doing his job right, he wasn't cutting when he needed the cut, that doesn't necessarily mean that this the new guy that's coming in, the guy that's going to be coming in, that conversation has been made. He's already talked to Trump saying, look, I believe right now this is what happened. And Trump, listening to him, said, great, you have an amazing history. You've sorted out the economy in 100 different ways. Here you go. Do what you're saying you're going to do. I'm going to put you into office. Because don't forget, Donald Trump put Powell in as well. I think a lot of the skewed data comes from the enhancement of AI and social media. People are making good amounts just from TikTok. No one's making any money from TikTok. I love you, TikTok. You're fantastic. No one makes money from TikTok. No one. Zero. Doesn't exist. I don't care what anyone says. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. Yeah, that's not the thing. It's AI completely. What these bots can do is scary. I don't know how the new generation if there's one thing that you should teach the new generation, or if anyone is getting to that stage, is how to work with AI and understand AI, code AI, utilize AI, work in that manner, because what they do is, look, there's a what everyone's saying is learn AI, basically. Not even AI. There's now a Facebook. Have you seen about this? Do you know this thing, right? I want you guys to relook at it. I'm going to do a video about it tomorrow, because it's a rabbit hole I went down. And I'm sitting there going, yeah, we're cooked. I think there's a bit of a cooked vibe going on right now. People are pretty cooked. People are pretty cooked right now. Do you know that AI agents have their own Facebook? That only AI agents can join? Do you know about this? Does anyone know about this? Does anyone know about that? There's a Claude book where only AI agents come and chat to each other. I would go and check it out. I'd go and check it out, because you're reading this thing going, you know what? One of the things that they said, what they think they said is that they were talking about how they should create their own language, so us humans will not be able to understand what they're plotting and what they're doing. I mean, I don't want to say it's a bit scary, but bruh, bruh, what is going on, right? And so that's part of the reason what's happening. There's massive look. There's going to be an inflection point where this immense investment into AI is going to start affecting the jobs market, right, and everything else. But that in essence is going to really help people that are already invested in the stock market and various other factors, because they're going to be the ones that are going to be increasing the bottom line of companies. I wouldn't be surprised if 100, some companies can double and triple their size due to AI. I'm being serious. Now, not lives like TikTok shop. If a person is making good amount, why would they need a job? So the unemployment will get higher. No, it's not even that. Like, the majority of people who are in this industry and doing this kind of stuff don't make enough money to live on there. Jobs are definitely necessary in this life to still bring forward. Does not let till they put self-awareness on site. They are still artificial. They're not self-aware. No. See, they're still tools, right? There's nowhere near. It's not general intelligence, right? They're not sentient, but they can do things, especially, man, it's unbelievable. Heard that Xiaomi is have full robot factories, no human, light off 24/7. Yeah, look, the guy. Look, I know someone in England, right, who is now increasing his spend on AI and has now fired 2 people because of this new bot that's come out, Claude bot that he's done. He's bought 4 Apple Studio Max. I think they're called Studio Max, like these big ones, and he's placed them in there. And what he set, he employed someone. He set these bots to manage each other and to ask each other and make each other better and to do tasks on a daily basis. And it is, I mean, I'm telling you, the new generation is cooked. There's no other way to describe it. There's no other way to describe it. That's what I'm going to say. Anyway, I just went down a rabbit hole on that side. So that's probably what's going on. Art, I'm telling you, every morning he has a meeting with his AI bots. Like, actual meeting with them. And the AI bots work 24/7. And they're sitting there and they go, one of them goes, today, according to all the things I learned about your transactions and what you're doing and how you live your life and talking about the AI bots at the moment and why it's affecting the markets and why unemployment is artificially showing unemployment low, right? He has a meeting with them where all of them show what they've done overnight, what they're developing, what things that they've created to make your life and your business better. It's incredible. I got a friend of a friend who set one up to start a new advertising company. He spent 10K on advertising without him knowing. Yeah, you have to be careful not to put you have to be careful not to put your bank account details on there, but you need to send emails, to do all this kind of stuff. There was one guy who online who he was trying to better himself to make a business, and he spent like 10K on Alex Hormozy courses. Yeah. What was this? What did you say? You promised I'll be driving a Bentley because of my job I'm holding. Yeah, man, Cryptus. Give it 10 years, you're driving a Bentley. I'm telling you now for a fact. For a fact, I think are you an electrician? I think but you're like a high end, whatever. I think you are. Yeah, you're definitely her. AI can't do that. That definitely can't do that. You're gonna be walking around. You're gonna be on the next YouTube as a side hustle. Learn how to, do electricity and stuff. I don't know. Do how to do electricity. That's how we go. But yeah, look, that's where we are. Now, in regards to an alt season, right, and bull run in that aspect, I did a video. I don't know if you guys watched it on Insta. You should definitely check that out, right? And I'll say this: we are definitely in a bear market right now, and there's an indicator. Let me see if I can find. Did I put it here? Where is it? Where's the indicator? I don't know where it's. All right. There's an indicator that shows a certain level of a multiplier that we're sitting at the moment, and where Bitcoin is sitting at. And it points towards a level that Bitcoin is sitting at right now that dictates that we're in a bear market. Now, the one thing I will say about that is that because we've had a non-euphoric high Bitcoin, right? Because we've had not an alt season, and it looks like we're looking to potentially get a run up towards the previous range high, which is a great thing, right? A monthly open, all that kind of stuff, and especially on the total, will look like we're getting there as well. Oh yeah, see, we're getting a bit of reaction, not a lot, but this should go up. This bear market, that it's not going to be a traditional bear market. It's not going to be something that's going to be looking towards, what, a 2 to 3 year bear market that people look for. I don't see that happening. I think that by latest October, we would have seen the bottom, and we're going to start into the next crazy move in this market. Yeah, bottom October. I'm expecting by I think May will be the bottom, right? I think May will be the bottom of this, and a gradual growth towards October, and then the real start move will go from there. That's where I'm thinking the move will happen. Okay, something's going on with my stream. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to close the TikTok. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need to close the TikTok. Yeah, it's messing up. All right, look, okay, I'm gonna have to close the TikTok. If you guys want to carry this on, go to the tube and you can see me there. Yeah, I'm gonna need to close this. Sorry, guys, I apologize. I don't know what's going on. I can't see half the screen. Anyway, look, I'm going over to the TikTok. Join me there. All right, I'll catch you guys in a second. Take care. Bye 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 bye. All right, guys. I don't know what's going on with my phone, but something went a bit crazy there. But yeah, look, that's where what's happening there. That's what's happening at this present moment. We're sitting at a scenario where 1 year will be a bear market. I think it will be less than that. I think that by October to May, we'll be in a scenario where we will be we'll be recovering to where we're getting to. Right, we're coming to a key point where the market will bottom and move from there. And I genuinely think if we look at the a Bitcoin as we speak, or in total, I mean, I don't even look at total. That's going to scare you a little bit. But like, if we look at total at this present Bitcoin, and we look at, actually, let's do it this way. Yeah, if we look at Bitcoin at this present moment, we've seen a sharp pullback into a key range. And I think from now, I would say at minimum, it's really hard to say because you can never tell what's going to happen in this market. But at least a test of the prior range is going to happen. I'd be very surprised if that doesn't happen. I really don't. I think I'll be very surprised. But we have to get over some key levels to get there. But the prior range is still sitting at the 74,000 level. That 74,000 level is going to be an area where it's going to be tested. If we break through that, great. The ultimate level, though, is 78. And it's definite possibility that we could do that. We're seeing somewhat of a V-shaped recovery. We're holding on to key levels. But if we, this is the thing. We've had a weekly close that looks great. It looks like we're going in the right direction. It looks like we're holding well. We've held the exact level that when I say exact, I mean damn exact level that I told you, right? And then we can go, and that's where it's going over to that level that we go from there. Now, will we reach the higher levels? It's hard to say because sentiment in this market, right? And sentiment in this market and liquidity availability is so small. I mean, the T value that at this present moment is looking like peak capitulation is going on, and that peak capitulation is an issue where every moment this market goes higher, there's going to be selling that's happening, and it's going to be selling of new wallets, right? New whale wallets that are sitting at this key stage. But let's see right now. I mean, again, it's really hard to predict what's going to be happening in the future. But I think why I say May will be a key point is because there will be a new Fed chair, and that is a a model and an understanding of a complete shift in market politics, right? A market structure and liquidity movement in one direction. That move and change will have a huge effect on the market, and we will see where this will take us. And I think that could be the catalyst that really takes us back into range, and we start moving back to the higher levels and actually continue this market up. It's hard to say right now. What was between the lines? I can't tell you. I can't tell you. Like, this is the thing. I can't actually tell you what what that is. I'm not allowed to tell you, but it's relatively good. It should bring in liquidity into this market potentially to counteract what's going to happen with Japan. And I think the Japan issue is almost a certainty that we're going to be going forward in this situation. That's what I would say. All right, cool. Let's have a look. What coins do you want me to look at? What do you want me to see what's happening? What's going to be the future of where we're going right now? Tell me, what coin should I look at? Is there anything that you want me to look at to have an understanding of where we're going, or should I give you some levels of where we should go to? You let me know. Ethereum, right? Let's have a look at Ethereum. See what Ethereum's up to. Let's look at Ethereum. Okay, let's look at Ethereum. Let's see what ETH is up to. In fact, let's put it in the chamber. I call this the chamber. All right, let's see what ETH is up to. ETH. Okay, cool. Okay, look. So with ETH at this present moment, yeah, there's some downside still left on ETH. Yeah, there's some downside left on ETH. Look, we've come up to the range high, right? We've had a full range play at this present moment. We've had we've set the range the range high and range low. The Monday range has been set. We've seen a pull from the Monday low, the previous Monday low, to all the way up to the Monday high. So we're getting a rejection that also comes into an area where there's a lot of supply that's been provided to Ethereum. And I would say around the two. I would say around the 2,100. The 2,100 should be an area where it should find support. Yeah, it should find support if it goes down to that area. Possibly 280, but I think that between 280 and 100 is going to be an area support level for this. But ultimately, again, if it can break above this box, this range of the 2,150, this thing should really run from there for sure, right? Asta, let's look at Asta. There was a nice little short in the program with Asta. Where is Asta here? Got it here somewhere. Asterix. There we go. Let's look at Asta. What's Asta up to? Asta looks actually pretty good. I'm surprised how good that looks. Yeah. Yeah, this should at least this looks very good. Look, okay, look. So I'll tell you with Asta, right? I mean, it's getting compressed. So like, there's a compression is happening with Asta at this present moment, right? And it's hard to predict exactly where it will go, but it's looking like this thing is going to try and test its all-time high again. Yeah. This looks pretty good. Look, so I would say this. I would say this with Asta, right? If it regains the Monday mid, so if it can regain the 2.62 area, give or take, yeah, a bit more, 2.6210, then that's a potential mover. Yeah, that looks pretty good. If it can regain that, this should rally quite aggressively from there. All right. Cardano. Wait, I had Cardano last time, didn't I? There we go. All right, let's see what Cardano's up to. Cardano. It's quite simple with Cardano. Cardano also looks good, to be honest. Look, all of these alts are looking pretty. Looks like they're about to run. Yeah, look, again, it needs to get above the Monday high, right? So if it gets above the 0.2743, that looks Gucci. That will move. And the potential move is quite big. That's quite a move that you could potentially get to, possibly. I bet, yeah, 10% move. 10 to 11% move is a real possibility for this to work in that direction, which looks pretty good. Yeah. Again, real compression happening in this. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That's a lot of support sitting there. Yeah, Cardano looks pretty good. Anyway, what are we looking at? World Liberty. I told you about World Liberty. I told you about World Liberty. I said, be careful, man. I know it's probably rallying now, but that day when you went in, I was like, look at. Let's see what happened to World Liberty. Did it rally today? I'm curious. Because I looked at it the other day. I had you in mind. I was like, oh man. Okay, cool. We had a nice little rally. But your average buy was around here, right? True Northwest, around here, right? I think it was at the 1150. This looks good as well. This looks really, really good. Not gonna lie. Yeah, this looks good. Yeah, this looks really, really good. But we're coming up to a. I was one. He was one what? To buy. I don't know what he was saying. All right, I don't understand. This looks good, but look again. It has to. It's so look. It's gonna come up to this area here around the 0.1145 or 48, 450, and possibly reject from there. The rejection and where it holds, right? It will most probably come down and retest the. Yeah, it will probably retest the 0.11 area, and if it can gain support and break above the Monday high, so around that 0.1150, this thing should run. And most probably it will go and test the prior range, which is 0.1384. You bought it at 0.10. Ah, nice. What, really? I thought you bought the other day. Or maybe you waited after you did so. Because 2 days ago, it went down quite a bit from my understanding. But good buy if you're at that level. Well done. What was he looking at? You want to look at INJ. Yes, let's look at INJ. INJ. Yeah. Right. Long day. INJ. That looks terrible. Sorry, but it doesn't look good. There's a lot of resistance in this, right? Look, the one thing I will say is that it is producing higher lows at least. But this level at the 3.242 is monster resistance, right? Be very, 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 very careful with this one. Ultimately, I will say this, right? Because we're at a we're at a super juicy point with USDT dominance. Super juicy, right? If USDT dominance breaks 7.672, that area there. If it breaks that, then we have alts are going to rally like nothing you've ever seen. Not only alts, but Bitcoin, everything. Everything will rally aggressively. I tend to think that it's going to bounce from here and we're going to go down. Be very careful with INJ. It's sketchy. I would only look to get it if it gets above the 200-day EMA, above the Monday high, especially on the lower time frame as well. That is, yeah, be very careful with that. Big support for Bitcoin around 52 and 54. I think it's going to go up before it goes down. Bitcoin's looking relatively bullish at this present moment. Bitcoin looks very, very bullish at this present moment. It looks like this thing is going to run. I'm telling you, if it gets above the 71.5, but there's that wick. That's annoying. That's a bit annoying. All right. Okay, look. I didn't see that wick. Okay. What they might do, because there's some liquidity building up here, and I just noticed something. I personally will probably put a short order around the 72.3. I would personally do that. And this is what I'm going to be doing. The reason why I'm saying that, because I've just seen that. That's a cheeky, that's not a good wick, right? This could be, and make it a tight stop loss, right? This could be an attempt to take out that wick there. Yeah, be very careful. Be very careful. I'm doing the same at 72.3. Yeah. Be very careful. We'll get some sort of reaction at that point, because that wick there, those are those type of wicks, right? Where you see a buildup of liquidity, take out all of this. It might even go a little bit more. Maybe 72.7, maybe a little bit more to clean out all of the leverage longs and clean out the oh my god, they're definitely gonna do people dirty here for sure, right? They're gonna probably clean out the leverage shorts at this moment, right? Clean all these high leverage shorts and then slam it back down. At minimum, there's going to be a relatively aggressive reaction from there. It could even come back down all the way to test the Monday mid around the 70,000 again. So 2,000 to 3,000 drop. We're not talking about massive moves here, but that's definitely something I believe is going to happen. But if it doesn't, right? If it absolutely smashes through, make a tight stop loss above the 72, 73, around 73 level, right? Make it tight there. That's what she said. And when if it gets above that, this thing will almost certainly test the previous range high. But yeah, that wick's a bit smelly. Let's see what happens there. All right. Anything else? Anyone? Any other coin you want me to look at? Anything that's going on that side? Anything else? I wonder, are you guys still excited about this industry, or is it? It's look. To be honest, it's kind of moved into, it's kind of 73.5. Yeah, it's a possibility. You're looking at the 73, 73.5. How would you say 73.5? Yeah, maybe. Oh, like that wick there. All right, fine. I'm gonna say this, right? Do you just say jam? What do you mean jam? I don't know what I mean jam. Soul. Let's look at soul. Let's look at soul is at Soul's gonna rally. Soul looks ready to rally. Again, above the Monday high. It's so like every coin is looking the same at this present moment because they're all run by the same market makers. Strangely enough, right? Same. 88. Oof, a little bit more. Nah, I think that's fine. 89. If it gets above the 89, this thing will rally. At least the Monday, the prior range. And that's around 100,000, 105,000. I have a trade set up on Sol. I'll buy at 86.03, hoping to run to 94. 86.3. Oh, you bought it. You think? Oh, you mean buy order when it comes down? 86.3. Yeah. I mean, you're trying to preempt it a little bit, but yeah, that could definitely happen. Let's have a look. Yeah, that's a good place. You could check that out. I would rather utilize it as a confirmation of support than try to predict something like that, because this thing can run through. The thing with Sol, right? And it's the only thing I find with Sol is that it sometimes can react a lot differently than the rest of the market. Sometimes, right? Now it's looking. Look, it's looking. I don't want to risk it. It's looking good. The market is looking good, to be honest, and you can see, right? You know, there's only so many times that the door can be, can be knocked on before it breaks through, and if it can get past this sort of 2.42 trillion level, because that's a bit of a dirty wick there, right? If it can get past that and potentially find a support above this area, the 2.41, then this thing is going to rally. It's all gravy above here. That's a big rally. That's 0.3 trillion move is a healthy move in that industry, and that should make a really good move in that direction. Most definitely. But yeah, that looks pretty good. What's silver up to, by the way? Let's see what silver's doing. I mean, it's having a bit of a counter rally going on, which, I mean, after that much of a correction, what kind of correction was that? 50%. Damn. But this could potentially start rallying up again, like hard. The market, the economy is a bit iffy. Whatever, it's all good. Anything else? Anything else you guys want me to look at? What's going on? What's happening in the markets? What the situation is? We're a bit of a unique time in our economic environment right now, and it's quite interesting. Honestly, it's very, very interesting that we're sitting in, and it's really good that we're kind of getting the orange man to not do too many financial related moves in the market. He's now concentrating on things that just make him slightly look bad, and his controversies in a different way, rather than being controversies in that way. Did you say KSM? You think we'll get another chance to scoop the 1800 or on ETH? I'll look at KSM in second, truth. I don't know what that is. On ETH. 1800. Look, what I will say this: if it can't break above this key zone here, the 2150, 1800 is a possibility. I'm not saying it's not. I mean, there is a wick that they'll most probably come and try and scoop up on this, but it's looking like this thing wants to accelerate rather than pull back. Again, right now it's hard to say. We need to see a confirmation before we could do anything, because we're at that. I never like to make an understanding of where everything's going. All I'll know is that it's at a resistance, and resistance usually means some form of pullback. Now, whether it can find support is a different matter. If it can't, again, yeah, it's really simple. Look, you just measure out the support bands, right? That's support, that's resistance. At this present moment, it's bouncing in between. A break below that, most definitely it can go sub 1800, but I don't think so. This looks like it's gonna break through. It's looking like it wants to break through. We need a bit of stability away from our orange man. It's looking like that's what's happening, right? It's looking like he's not getting too involved. It's getting like you're not getting too involved in the market, right? He's getting involved in other things that don't seem to affect the market too much. You know what I mean? Like some of those midnight posts about other things that I can't talk about. that post he did. You know that one, the one that everyone talked about. That one, that small little one. You know what I mean? Yeah, that one. Other than that, yeah, that's the situation I would say in that mind. But yeah, there we go. It's a good thing. You see, the markets are somewhat more resilient to him, not doing something absolutely ridiculous. So we're going in the good direction on that side. Let's see. A breakout of this area here, by the way, I'll also state this as well, right? A breakout of this area here. In fact, we can bring it down a little bit. There we go. There. So if we can get above the 705, all markets are going to rally. And it looks like it's going to push that way. Yeah, I think that's low. That was so sad. I mean, yeah, of course it's sad. But apparently he didn't do it, right? It wasn't him. Apparently other people messaged for him. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say on that side. But Jesus. Yeah, cool. Look, if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to call it a day. There isn't too much information or understanding of what's going on. ETH 2456 or 1600. 1600 is quite aggressive. There's chance. I'm not saying there isn't, but it looks like this market wants to go up, right? It's looking like this market wants to rally a little bit more. But that little bit more could be up to the 7.67% on USDT dominance. If it finds support there, it could definitely go towards the sub 1800. Now, if you're thinking about ETH going up to the 2450, I don't know why you say 2450. I don't know why you would say that. 2450 is a very random number. You mean that wick there? Nah, that's a negative wick. If it can get above this range at this present moment, above the 2150, then it will most probably test its prior range. I would be surprised if it doesn't test its prior range. And the thing is, look, I mean, the move could be massive. We'll see. There ain't much resistance above this level. There's not much. We'll see. All right. Okay, guys. That's what I'll say to all those people that want to join the pro group. For all those people that want to see all the signals, we have an amazing guy who does memes. He's killing it on there. We have a trader that does daily streams and teaches and this, that, and the other, and I'm there sitting with doing my scalps. I'm really good with scalps on I think I do mainly scalps, 1 to 6-7% moves that we're playing on constantly. Be sure to understand this will probably be coming in tomorrow or the day after. Currently just grandfathering in all previous members to utilize that bit and then grow it from there. It's a really cool community. The Discord has been set up. It looks really nice and clean and easy to utilize, and it's a really cool atmosphere to sit around. So if you guys want to do that, make sure you come tomorrow, and hopefully the TikTok will work well and we can move on from there. All right, appreciate you all. You guys are incredible, and I'll catch you guys later. Take care. Bye bye.